if the music is not working. I promise I will not be singing. Okay. Welcome to the annual Hometown Heroes Replaying. I am Kristin Reilly, Chairman of the Veterans Advisory Commission. I'm so grateful each one of you came out on what I was going to say this beautiful day, but this miserable day. I really can't believe there is actually a nice turnout despite this weather. As a community, we have spent a fair amount of time here saying our goodbyes to loved ones, but today is different. Today it is with great pride that we are gathered here to pay tribute to the brave veterans and first responders who have gathered here to pay tribute and lay their heads as their final resting place. We are not here to simply decorate grave sites with wreaths. We're here to honor, remember, and thank our hometown heroes who have traded in their badges and brass for angel wings.
Color Guard, present the colors. Present, march. Order! March!
Please rise for national anthem.
Present, march!
I would now like to bring up Chaplain Doug Fulford for our invocation. If you would like to be seated, right here there are a few chairs. Please feel free.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. You know the rain, we could always use the rain. But Father, we're here for one reason, to honor those men and women who serve to help protect our country. Father, thank you for your love and your faithfulness. Watch over each parent of loved ones here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, I would like to introduce our speaker. Our speaker today is Chief Stephen LeCompte. He has been a police officer since 1983. He started his career with Northampton Township in 1989. Please join me in welcoming Chief LeCompte.
Thank you and good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Northampton Township Police Department, I would like to thank the Northampton Veterans Advisory Commission and everyone that contributed to this event and made it possible. I also want to thank everyone for taking the time today to honor our veterans and our emergency services personnel. It is appropriate to recognize police, fire, and ambulance personnel together because our missions are so intertwined. We provide safety and security to our community by providing critical services. Dedication and sacrifice is required due to the need to place ourselves in harm's way. The COVID-19 epidemic is an example of how we all face the same challenges. Almost 3 years ago, all emergency services personnel began responding to an increased number of calls that often involve sick people. Some of the calls were not medical calls, but when you're meeting with different people during an epidemic, it's difficult not to think about one's own personal safety and your own personal health and your family's personal health. We all did what we could to mitigate the risk of infection while knowing that there was a good chance that we would never be able to avoid being infected. The rising death rates and lack of information about the disease caused much stress for many first responders, but everyone still did their job and they continued to serve our community. Many businesses closed. People stayed indoors and worked from home, but first responders went to work and got the job done. This is just one example of how we are all so connected. Our veterans also know about sacrifice and service, many of them making the ultimate sacrifice. They serve our entire country while protecting our freedom and our way of life. There are many similarities between them and first responders. This is why there is so much mutual respect between us. Our community and our country owe our freedom to our servicemen and women, past and present. It has been my honor to represent our police department today and to recognize and pay tribute to our first responders and veterans. We must never forget those that came before us. The laying of wreaths today will be a practical reminder for all of us to keep those that came before us in our memories. And the other reminder of today is going to be the weather. So that will help us to never forget. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. If I can have everyone silence while we render military honors, which will include a loud volley from our rifle salute. Please stand as you are as we render military honors.
Raise it! Hot! Order on! Raise it! Hot! Order arm. On the floor.
These holiday wreaths have a significant meaning for the season. The circular shape with no beginning or end represents eternity and never-ending love. The green symbolize strength, endurance, and lasting memories. The red bow signifies the great sacrifices these heroes have made. These selfless heroes did not die in vain. The dash between their beginning and end is a tribute to the honorable life that they lived. Please visit these heroes at their final resting place today. Say their name, place the wreath, and respectively spend a moment to pay homage to their life and their service. I would like to recognize the members of the Veterans Advisory Commission: Wendell Rich, Tom Yeagle, Tim O'Donnell, Eric Saracino, Faust Capobianco, and Dave Reese.
Hold on! Tie the colors! Raise hand, arms!
I'd like to thank Chuck Wyant for sharing some history about Union Cemetery. There are 8 people interred in this cemetery who were killed in action from the Civil War to Vietnam. 2 soldiers interred in this cemetery were killed in action during the Civil War. Isaac Tolbert, Union Army, age 22, was killed in the Battle of Fair Oaks, June 13, 1862. George Saxton, Union Army, age 19, was killed in the Battle of Antietam, September 7, 1862. I would like to thank you all for coming, and a special thank you to Public Works for helping set this up, and everybody who brought the tents at the last minute. I'd also like to say a huge amount of gratitude for the community who came together to raise the money to purchase these 400 wreaths. We do have programs that are available up here. We did not pass them out. Anyone who made a donation of $100 or more, their name is printed in the program, which I can give to you when we disperse. At this time, I would like to ask anyone that would like to place a wreath on a specific headstone to please come forward and choose a wreath from this corner right here.
See if you can get a picture of color code.
Yeah.
We will give them a moment to disperse to their specific loved ones' grave sites. We have piles in all the corners of the cemetery here. We need to place them on each headstone that has an American flag that is representing a first responder or a veteran. That concludes our ceremony.